Good day, folks. I welcome you back to Global Education Zone. And today, in this let's say this is actually the 24th episode of Christ Technical Drawing for SS 1 to 3. We're going to be dealing with the development of the frustum of a cylinder. Now, basically, the frustum of a cylinder is how the cylinder looks when it has been truncated. So what we need to do, we just need to draw, just like in the previous episode, we're drawing the development of an ordinary cylinder, but in this case we'll be drawing the development of the frustum of a cylinder. It's similar, they are both similar. So the first thing to do is to divide the cylinder into 12 equal parts. Now today I'm going to be using another method because the first method is beginning to pall on me, so let's use the second method of dividing a circle into 12 equal parts. So in this case we'll still draw the two diagonals, the horizontal and then the vertical, the corresponding vertical. So this is the vertical diagonal. Here we have the vertical. So good. Now the next thing to do is to make use of the set squares. Okay, or let's just use the normal method, up and down, up, left and right, top, bottom, right, left. So now we'll now join these divisions. We join them. It's not necessary, as I mentioned in the previous episode, but it is good, so you can know where you're coming from and where you're going. So I haven't done this. So, and it also assures you of your accuracy, because once they pass through the center, you will know that it is correct. The next thing to do is to draw the front elevation. So I'll be drawing the front elevation now. So this is how the front elevation looks. Let's draw the front elevation. So the front elevation will actually also look like a rectangle. Even the development of an untruncated rectangular or cylinder. So this will be the top. So in this case we have truncated it, right? So it will no longer be rectangle. So let me truncate from this point to this point. So instead of starting from top, let's start from a point that is not at the top. So that you know that it doesn't have to be from the top. So when we truncate from this side, it doesn't have to be from the top. But once it's not at the top, you have a new top. So this was the original top, but we didn't pass through that side. So let me draw the other in semi-points. This was the original cylinder, but then when you truncated, you truncated from this side to this side, you have a new cylinder. The next thing to do is to project your lines. So project the lines on the section on the plan. Project them to the right. Let's project them to the right. Let's project the section lines to the right. So let's project them to the top. We have here. We have here. We have them here. We have them here finally. So we'll now project these lines to the right. So they will be the ones that will be used for the development of these what's it called, of the truncated cylinder. There we go. So this is the center line. So good. Now this might look like a very tiny drawing, but I intentionally had to make it tiny so that it would fit into this part. So Now the next thing to do is to cut your divisions. So you are going to mark the divisions. Now you can say mark, you can also say cut. So either one. So I'm going to mark the divisions on the from the plan. I'm marking them on the developments. So let me start from. So you can start from anyone though. They are actually equal. They are equal. Let's do this number 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to mark 12, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are the 12 divisions. The next thing to do is to draw a vertical line that will correspond with the height of each of these points. So they are kind of the sections of the front elevations. So basically this procedure is just the process of dividing the front elevation into sections and then drawing the shape of each of those sections. So the reason is that when you draw the shape of the smaller sections, you will be able to get the aggregate shape of the entire development. So because you can't get it all at once, you have to divide the section. So now let's see from this section, let's call it this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then back to number 1. So let's name them here to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, back to 1. Now from 1 to 2, at this number 1 we have the height here, so point it here. And number 2, we have the heights at this level, so we'll transfer it and then point it at number 2. At number 3 on the plan, we have the heights at this level, we'll transfer it to number 3 at this development. At number 4, we have the plan at this level, we'll transfer it to number 4. At number 5, we have the plan at this level, we'll transfer it to number 5. At number 6, we have the plan at this level, we'll transfer it to number 6. Then at number 7, we have it at the lowest level of the truncation. 7, good. Then number 8. So you can see that this pattern also repeats. So instead of stressing yourself, you can just copy the pattern from each dot to the other. And finally, we get to the back to 1. So the next thing for you to do is to join all these points with your French curve. So I'll first line it with my hand. You see, that's my practice. I basically always line it, faint line, draw a faint line through all these points with your pencil, freestyle. Then after you're done with that, you can now use your French curve to line everything in. So this is not a very difficult one because these ones are actually small. So, but just line sections, smaller sections first. So that's what I'm doing here. So I have this one here. This one here. So this, then let's draw the middle section, the connection. Then we have this. Then we have this. We have this here. Then we have this here. This here, we have this here. We have this here. So there is actually a trick that is involved in this though. The fact that I discovered that actually when you draw up and down sides of the French curve, it gives a smooth curve. But we'll talk about that in another episode. Let's just focus on the development. Now this is how it looks when you develop it. So it no longer looks like a rectangle as in the case of a full cylinder. So let's compare this with actually the previous episode. So in the previous episode, this was drawing a mid, but in this episode, I'm developing the truncation of a cylinder. But in this previous episode, I was developing the whole cylinder. You can see the difference. In this first case, you have a complete rectangle. But in this case, because you truncated this side, that is why you are now having an incomplete rectangle as the development. Thanks for watching. See you next episode.